Hey, Jack, it's going to the blue, CHP. Now we're northbound on the 605 from the 10 freeway. 70, 80 miles an hour almost. There it is in the fast lane at CHP and trail, the airship overhead. Traffic a little lighter on the northbound side of the 605 here as it approaches the 210 in a couple miles, coming up to Ramona. When the pursuit first started, it was at slower speeds on surface streets, about 30 miles an hour, they were saying. But once he jumped onto the 5 freeway, really hit the gas, went northbound, as I said, into downtown LA. And now we find ourselves northbound 605 in Irwindale. The sheriffs believe that it's just the driver now. He did have a passenger that bailed out in the City Terrace area about 10, 15 minutes ago. And if you're just joining us, there was a pit maneuver tried by the LA County Sheriffs, and it appears that the bumper was damaged in that pit maneuver. Trying to see what's going on with that front tire there. It looks like there's something maybe caught on it. Approaching that 210 freeway here in a short distance, about a mile now, and you see the CHP and trail, the airship overhead lighting up with the night sunlight. And looking at the transition road, it looks like it's going to be either way, east or westbound on the 210 is going to be moving smoothly. There's no traffic to speak of on that transition road. The 210, though, has heavier traffic, of course, here compared to the 605. If the driver goes eastbound, he'll have, I think, a little more traffic than westbound on the 210. But in any event, here he is trying to decide, trying to make a move here, east or westbound 210. Those are the options. He could go exit the freeway and end up in Duarte. He's going to be committed to the eastbound, I believe this is. It is eastbound 210. People trying to get out of the way. They see the lights coming up from behind them. Here's the transition road. There's the sheriff's airship coming through our screen, and now eastbound 210 from the 605. Here's the traffic up ahead is a little bit heavier, like I said, compared to the 605. Using that Gore Point, the doors popping open every now and then. Let's come in tight here. We can see that door just flailing there in the wind. It's not secure at all. And in those turns, we've seen the door pop open. And early on, the deputies were saying that the driver was opening the door and closing the door, but I think it's just unable to close all the way. So we'll keep an eye on that as the car now, high speed. They believe it's only the driver in the car right now, flashing his headlights. 210 freeway eastbound at Irwindale. Copy that, Jack. So once again, we'll give you an update on the freeways that this driver's been on. He started onto the 5 freeway in Pico Rivera, went northbound on the 5 to the 101 freeway northbound into downtown LA, and then went eastbound on the 10 freeway, got off on surface streets, got back on the 10, made his way on the 710 freeway northbound, exited at Valley. The deputies tried to do a pit maneuver. He got back on the 710 freeway southbound and then entered back onto the 10 freeway eastbound. Made his way over to the 605 northbound, and now we're 210 eastbound. That's a lot of freeways to take for sure. And the speed now is up to, well, we're looking at about 80 miles an hour right now. Again, this pursuit all started with the driver supposedly jumping into the driver's seat during a traffic stop. A driver tried to run over some of the deputies involved in that traffic stop, and that's when the pursuit started. And that was in the East LA area, made his way into Pico Rivera and then onto the freeway systems. Coming through Azusa now, eastbound 210. The speed's 90 miles an hour. Here comes a wide shot of the officers of the California Highway Patrol that have taken over the pursuit from the LA County Sheriff's East LA Division. The airship is the Sheriff's Department helicopter that's aiding in this pursuit with the night sunlight. And really, there's no traffic. There's no freeway blockages up ahead. It's freeway speeds. There is a heavy amount of traffic up ahead. It looks like it's growing, but it's all moving. So the driver has an open freeway here and just has to dodge those cars as he approaches 85, 90 miles an hour, using that carpool lane to get through. The next freeway interchange is going to be the 57 freeway. That's not for about another mile and a half. And once again, we're going to look at that door swinging. All across lanes. Here we go. Once again, we've seen the driver do this a couple of times in the chase. Came really close, and if not hitting one of the cars, he made a quick lane change across 3 lanes and may have clipped the car a while back. It could be setting up for the 57, which he's approaching very quickly here. Right down the middle of the freeway right now, but if he jumps over into the slower lanes, he can take the 57 southbound. Here's a look at the traffic ahead. And then we should be seeing, there's the sign for the interchange. And he's going to be in that slower lane. It might be a transition road. We'll see if he's actually going to take the Gore Point there. He's going to dive over last minute. Looks like southbound 57 now. From the 210. It'll be southbound 57. Car's going a little slower. He's going to have to weave through those. Let's see, that door is going to pop open. There it goes. He's trying to hold it. Or is he? It looks like it's just kind of flailing there once again. He's going to use the shoulder of the road. Very dangerous move. Hopefully there's no cars broken down there, and then continues to go back into the main line of the freeway. NOC from Bravo. We're now San Dimas, southbound 57 from the 210. He's going to be approaching the 10 freeway. We'll see if he tries to go back west towards downtown LA. NOC from Bravo on Lukens. Oh, okay. Let me switch. Hey, Dave, how's that? I'm in the San Diego now. Do you copy? Yeah. Can we do Sierra? And we're going to switch hilltops here, so you might lose the signal for a second, but it'll come right back. Okay, copy that. Continuing our coverage here, this high-speed chase that started in East LA is now coming through San Dimas, southbound 57 freeway, coming up to the 10 freeway. This driver's been on the 10 freeway and might be deciding to go go back westbound. We'll see if that happens. But I think he just passed the road to take the 10. No, here he comes right into it now. So he might be going back westbound. We'll see here in a second. I believe he can go eastbound here as well. Nope, it's going to be eastbound 10 freeway. So far, this driver's been on 7 freeways. He's now back on the 10 freeway once again, eastbound coming into Pomona. Door just kind of flailing around there. That's not being able to be secured. It just opens up on turns. You can see the driver sitting in the chair, the driver's seat. The night sunlight really helps the officers behind the car, and you can see that rear window is pretty heavily tinted. The night sunlight can really light up things inside that car. Now we're on the 10 eastbound. The next freeway is going to be the 15 freeway. That's still a ways away. Using that carpool lane to pass. coming back in. We're hearing 95 miles an hour. Deputies were making a traffic stop when this driver jumped into the driver's seat during that traffic stop, took off in the car, and attempted to run over deputies. That's when the pursuit started out in East LA, went through Pico Rivera, then on the 5 freeway northbound all the way up to downtown LA, eastbound on the 10, made its way north and then southbound on the 710, back on the 10 freeway east to the 605, went north on the 605 to the 210, went east on the 210, all the way to the 57 freeway southbound, and then again joining the 10 freeway here eastbound, coming through Claremont now. Speeds 90 miles an hour, and traffic moving. There's a lot of cars on the freeway, but it is moving up ahead. I don't see any crashes or anything like that up ahead on the 10 freeway. And again, the 15 freeway will be next in about 5 or 6 miles. During the chase, in fact, he got off the freeway in City Terrace off the 10 freeway, and a passenger jumped out while the car was moving. The deputies did get that passenger in custody in that area. It was Eastern and City Terrace Drive. And look at that door. The door cannot shut. It's just kind of flailing around there like a broken wing. The bumper, it's dragging because the Sheriff's Department tried a pit maneuver while it was on surface streets in City Terrace. They were unsuccessful, and the driver was able to get back on the freeway and continue. The Sheriff's Department turned over the pursuit shortly after that to the California Highway Patrol, and they have been in trail ever since. Once again, I'll take this opportunity to remind everybody that you can, if you're watching this on your cell phone or tablet, you can now watch it on your smart TV by downloading the Roku or the Apple TV app and searching NBCLA to watch that on your smart TV. Eastbound 10 freeway, coming into a little bit heavier traffic here. It's kind of caught behind that truck ahead of him. Going to swing out and pass. That door still just kind of partly open there. Now the California Highway Patrol units, they will hand off to the next local area. It'll be Rancho Cucamonga units that will come in after these Baldwin Park units leave their jurisdiction or their area. They'll pull back and let the Rancho Cucamonga units take over, and that's how they will continue to follow this pursuit vehicle. Eastbound 10 freeway. We're approaching the Ontario airport. We are in Ontario now. So it was Eastern and City Terrace Drive that the passenger bailed out during the chase. The driver was eastbound 10 freeway, exited City Terrace Drive, and then made its way to Eastern, and that's the area where the passenger bailed out. While the car was moving, it was able to jump out and run into a neighborhood. That's when the sheriff's deputies that were in trail made the arrest of that passenger. And the driver here continued on. They tried a pit maneuver just shortly after that, and they were unsuccessful. But you see the damage to the bumper there as the vehicle was able to get onto the 10 freeway. Now here we are, eastbound 10 freeway, approaching Ontario Airport, and I believe that's a Rancho Cucamonga unit that just pulled in behind the pursuit vehicle. CHP Rancho Cucamonga now as the lead, and it'll just continue like this. If the driver stays on the 10 freeway, will make its way into San Bernardino, and then San Bernardino CHP officers will take over from the Rancho Cucamonga units, and that's how the CHP handles pursuits, and they can just go on and on like this. Of course, the helicopter overhead lighting up the pursuit, that makes it very helpful for other drivers to see this coming. They see a light, and they know that there might be a pursuit coming their way. Doors still flailing open there. It's just unbelievable to see that. And you have 3 units in trail now of the car that's registering about 90 miles an hour on average. We're now directly north of the Ontario Airport, and the 15 freeway here shortly will be an option for this driver on about 2 miles. There may have been one minor collision with this pursuit vehicle with a civilian vehicle that was just driving down the freeway a little while ago on the 10 freeway. Made a quick move across lanes, and it looked like it might have hit the front end of that innocent driver's car. But other than that, there really hasn't been a collision to speak of. One concern is that driver door swinging open at times can be a problem, so especially on turns. We have the freeway interchange coming up, the 15 and the 10. Eastbound 10 approaching that 15, so he can go north or south here, but in this lane it'll be committed to the eastbound 10 to see he's moving over. This is kind of what the driver does when he approaches interchanges. He gets right in the middle of the freeway and then dives over at the last minute to make a transition on the other freeway. We'll see if that happens here, if he's going to stay on the 10 eastbound, but we're coming very close to that 15. We'll see what happens here. There's the signs for the interchange. We'll see if he tries to jump over at the last second. Well, he can't now. He's committed to that eastbound 10 freeway. So coming into Rialto is next. This driver's been on 7 freeways and been on the 10 freeway twice. Actually 3 times if you're counting. Eastbound 10 from the 15, and the next freeway system or the interchange will be the 215, but that's quite a ways up ahead. In Fontana now, speeds 85 miles an hour. The speeds are maintaining around that 80, 90 mile an hour range. No word on using a spike strip right now. The freeways are there's a lot of traffic. It'd be very dangerous for CHP officers to try to get a spike strip in place. Not impossible, but very dangerous for sure, especially with the want on this driver is trying to run over officers and deputies, I should say, from the sheriff's department early on. That's how the pursuit started. So it would be very risky to try a spike strip, at least right now on the freeways. If the driver gets off on surface streets and starts circling in an area, they'll definitely want to try to put the spike strips out. See the driver moving around there with his hands. I'm going to come in a little tighter. See if he's trying to get on a cell phone. I'll see if that's happening. There you see the right hand of the driver. Now this car did hit some debris on the 10 freeway near or around Alhambra, and it knocked what looked like some pipes or poles out of the lanes. It might have been debris on the freeway. That damaged one of the sheriff's vehicles, and they had to pull out. That's around the time the CHP took over. It looks like right now the vehicle is in damage from that. You can see how dark the freeway is through this area in Fontana. The 10 eastbound. We exited or just past Sierra Avenue. The night sunlight really helps to lighten things up, brighten things up there for not only the officers in trail, but for other drivers. There you go, 4 units now in trail. Yes, thank you. I'm talking to my assignment desk manager, Jack Noyes, who's giving me information about the pursuit throughout the duration of this chase, and we're discussing the freeways that this driver's been on. 8 freeways so far, and the 10 freeway 3 different times. Here comes the 60 freeway, so we'll see if the driver decides to make it number 9. 80. Well, they're saying 80 miles an hour, looking at 70. The driver looks like he slowed down a little bit, 69, 70 miles an hour. That could be an indication that the driver is low on fuel. We'll see. Might just be playing cat and mouse. But here comes the 60 freeway, and he's again moves over into the slower lanes to see if he can fake out the CHP behind him. And here he's taking the transition road to the 60. So here we go. We'll see which direction. It's going to be eastbound 60, freeway number 9 for this driver. It is a 60 freeway eastbound from the 215 at transition road high above the ground there. The driver's slowing down quite a bit here. So I don't know if he's having car problems or just trying to conserve fuel a little bit. Eastbound 60 freeway from the 215. And driver might be going to a familiar area. That's what happens a lot in these pursuits. They go into an area where they feel comfortable, more knowledge of streets. They'll exit the freeway and try to bail out and run into a neighborhood, maybe to their home. I see the driver, it looks like maybe trying to pick up a cell phone in there. What is that he's doing? It looks like he might be texting. He definitely has what looks like a cell phone there.
The Kia K5 delivers style and performance at an incredible value. Drive one home with payments of just $119 per month during our President's Day event. That's just $119 per month for the stylish and fun to drive K5. Visit us, CarPros Kia Glendale and CarPros Kia Huntington Beach.
The driver can actually access the 215 south from the 60 freeway east here, so we'll see if the driver does that. It's up ahead, that transition.
The Kia K5 delivers style and performance at an incredible value. Drive one home with payments of just $119 per month during our President's Day event. That's just $119 per month for the stylish and fun to drive K5. Visit us, CarPros Kia Glendale and CarPros Kia Huntington Beach.
A fresh CHP unit coming in to the mix. The car changing lanes. You have the 215 and the 60, I should say. 215 and the 60. Currently do that transition, but we'll see. Well, actually, you know what? The units were saying that a new car was coming in, but you know what? It was a civilian car that jumped in there. That white car that I said was a fresh vehicle jumping in. They were calling it a fresh vehicle taking over, but I think the officers realized that it was not one of their units. It was a civilian unit that resembled a police unit that got in there for a moment, right behind the driver, in a sense pulled out. So a little confusion there. But they've cleared that up, and they're likely going to pull that driver over for interfering in this pursuit. We're at the 215 and the 60 interchange here, eastbound on the 60, and it looks like he's going to be committed 60 eastbound. So it is 60 eastbound. It really is a cross-country event now from downtown LA into Moreno Valley. I'm looking at that vehicle right here. That might have been the one that got in there. It's got numbers on the roof. That might be the vehicle that got behind the car. We'll see what the California Highway Patrol does or says about that vehicle. Approaching Day Street north or eastbound 60 freeway. Switching. And Jack, they're switching to the turquoise, Riverside turquoise, CHP. Eastbound passing Frederick, 69, 70 miles an hour. Once again, thank you for joining us on NBCLA. This is Gil Levis in News Chopper 4 Bravo, along with my pilot David Viskovich, on what is now a cross-country pursuit out of East LA and Pico Rivera into downtown LA, and then all the way out here now in the Moreno Valley. The driver wanted for assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer, and that weapon is the car. The driver jumped into the driver's seat during a traffic stop and tried to run over deputies as he made his escape to the 5 freeway. The sheriff's deputies went into pursuit. They tried a pit maneuver in City Terrace. You see the damage done to the bumper in that. It was unsuccessful. A passenger had jumped out just prior to that, and that passenger was taken into custody in the City Terrace area off the 10 freeway at Eastern. CHP took over the pursuit after one of the sheriff's units suffered some damage due to some debris in the road. This car actually hit that debris and threw it into the way of those deputies. That's when the CHP took over the chase. We saw speeds of 80, 90 miles an hour plus, but has slowed down here in the last, I'd say 20 minutes, down to 50 miles an hour. The car might be running out of gas or might have some issues. It's getting to the point where they can do a pit maneuver on the speed. So we'll see if that happens, if the units will get behind it and do that pit maneuver. Here he goes. He's going to be exiting the freeway. Takes that gore point at the last second. This is going to be Paris Boulevard. Look at the door swing open. It's been doing that during this chase. The door cannot be closed. Look at that, wide open all the way. He's going to go around, cars there. Now it's going to get dangerous here. He's going to ramp it up, that door popping open. You see the zone, you see the speed. Left turn. Indiana Street on surface streets in Moreno Valley. The pursuit's going to continue on now off the 60 freeway. Hey Jack, did we get it back? Okay, thank you. On surface streets, passing that car there on the right, Indiana Street at Eucalyptus in Moreno Valley. The driver deciding to jump off. It might be a familiar area to the driver. We'll watch and see. The driver was texting a short time ago, so the driver might have been notifying friends or family that he's heading home. We'll see if that is home for this car or not. Blowing stop signs. Fortunately, not a lot of traffic on Indiana here, or I'm sorry, I was saying Indiana. It's Indian Street. Look at that door swing open. He's going to go. Nope, he doesn't go. So every time he turns, that door swings open. We're getting word. Well, we'll see what happens here, but they might try a pit maneuver. The speed's 45, 46, 50 miles an hour. A little too fast, but on the turns, the driver has to slow down. The door swings open again. The bumper swings out. Here comes the CHP. They will do that pit. Yeah. Our signal, but when the car turns, we turn, and sometimes our signal will break up. Okay, Dave, thank you. Maybe Wilson might be an option. I'm not. Look at that swing there, right turn. Fortunately, the door didn't hit anybody. Wilson. Stand by, Dave. Stand by. We're into Wilson now, David. Department. That's that second unit there. We might see a pit right here. Here it is. There's a car turning into its driveway. Oh, just misses that car. The pursuit comes to an end. That car, the red car, he backs into the officers. Wow, just missed that red car. The person they're running into their house after that pit maneuver ends up almost in his driveway or her driveway, and that driver had nowhere to go. The door opening up here. It's been doing that, so it's hard to say if the driver's trying to jump out or not. They got that pit maneuver for the second time. It spun the car out, but just not enough. The driver was able to back out of that driveway, and it might have bumped that CHP unit. That would be the second time for this driver. Would be considered assault with a deadly weapon, the car being the deadly weapon on a peace officer. This is all happening in Moreno Valley. I was saying the Moreno Valley PD has been close by. There's another unit right over this chase now, and the CHP is backing out of it. The airship staying overhead, and we'll see if the sheriff's department is still part of it. Here goes a red light, cross traffic through that red light, dangerous for the officers as well in trail, but I believe that now is a Moreno Valley police unit. It is in this pursuit. The driver's kicking up the speed here quite a bit. 70 miles an hour. Alessandro approaching Indian. Here comes a wide sweeping turn. There goes the door. Makes that turn, and they're going to try. The CHP is actually going to try to get back in this here in a moment. That Moreno Valley unit, they're in trail. Wrong side of the road there, crossing over the yellow. Into a neighborhood once again. That's going to bring speeds down a little bit, hopefully. Cars, people out at night. Here comes a right turn. And another right turn. It might be, let's see if this is taking him into a dead end or, nope. He's got another elbow there to navigate. Victor, this is on Victor Drive. Still in Moreno Valley. The door swinging open, but it doesn't mean the driver's trying to do it. He's going to pull into a driveway there. Oh, he almost goes into the garage. And the driver, let's see if the driver pops out. That door is partly open. Almost hit that car in the parking, or in the driveway, I should say. This is on Victor Drive. The driver with his hands out looks like he's going to comply now. So a strange ending to this pursuit as the driver pulls into this driveway of a house. It's unclear if this is the driver's home or not. Officers with their guns drawn from Moreno Valley getting into position. I'm going to come out to a wider shot. You see all the units coming into this neighborhood. We're almost in the ball, David. Can you do a left pedal? Thank you, right there. That's perfect. You see the K9 unit here on scene. They have that to get the driver out in case the driver doesn't comply. But we're looking at hands out the door. That car door never being able to shut during this pursuit. That dog is barking. That driver knows it and hear it, and we'll see if that's enough to drive that driver out. It looks like it is. He comes with his hands up. Copy that. Thank you, Jack. So the driver complying with the officers there with their guns drawn. It is the actually the sheriff's department here in Moreno Valley that took over the lead and showing, lifting his shirt up to show his waistband, make sure there's no weapons there, and slowly moving back towards those deputies. $14,300 block of Victor Drive is where we're at. Cross street is Conley, and the driver suddenly pulling into this driveway, almost going into the garage door. And there you go, the driver in custody. And they'll check the car for anybody else. The sheriffs, the LA County sheriffs were saying it looked like it was just the driver after the passenger bailed out, so they're going to make sure and they go through their procedure to clear that vehicle of anybody else. But a pursuit that started in East LA, going through Pico Rivera onto the 5 freeway into downtown LA, ends up here in Moreno Valley in a neighborhood. 2 pit maneuvers later, the guy drives into a driveway and surrenders. You see guns drawn towards the house, towards the front door. You see those officers there on the passenger side of that unit, that shop 093. They have guns pointed, it looks like from this angle, towards the front door of the house. They can't take any chances. They don't know if this driver pulled into a random house or if this is the driver's home. The driver was texting. It looked like he was texting on the phone during the pursuit on the freeway. So it's unclear if this is the driver's home or not, but the deputies aren't taking any chances as they will try to clear the car and possibly even calling out people in the house to come out. In the meantime, here's the driver being taken into one of the units. They might let the dog in to clear the car. We'll see if that happens. Nope, we got officers on the driver's side going to make the approach and clear the car. They're going to pop the trunk. Trunk is clear. And now it looks like the deputies are standing down on the house. So here we go. The pursuit ends here in Moreno Valley after 9 freeways. The 10 freeway 3 times. And it ends with the Moreno Valley Sheriff's Department taking the driver in custody after he pulls into this driveway and almost hits that parked car and almost goes into the driveway or into the garage door. So fortunately, no injuries to speak of, and possibly one car that was slightly clipped during the chase. And two pit maneuvers that were performed during the chase. That was some of the highlights in this chase. We're going to wrap up our coverage on this pursuit. Thank you all for joining us on this cross-country venture from East LA to Moreno Valley, ending in the driver being taken into custody without incident and a passenger earlier on in the pursuit being taken into custody in City Terrace. This is Gil Levis signing off. Thanks for watching. Hey, Jack from Gil, do you want us to clear out? Thanks, Jack. You too. That's the number for the house, if you can see it, Jack. The small numbers in yellow. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just showing Jack the house number.